All right, so congratulations to the Carolina Panthers, who really, they blew out the team that, entered this week with the best record in football, the Arizona Cardinals. And, the excuses are there for Arizona, right? They were at one point under third-string quarterback. Although you could argue for Carolina, their third-string quarterback might be their best quarterback in Cam Newton, and he is the guy who I am most interested in talking about for this video. It's going to be less about the game itself and more about the Cam Newton of it all, because I find, I tend to view this as what's the most interesting story to talk about. To me, the Newton is the most interesting story to talk about. But you got to give a lot of credit to Carolina just about the game itself. Let's get into Cam Newton. And really what I want to talk about is why I like this move, what they're doing with Newton. They're kind of having him almost as like a Taysom Hill type guy, which I think makes a lot of sense. And maybe you could even argue he should be the starter just because, you do have an interesting situation with the PJ Walker, with the, Sam Darnold situation with his injury and everything. I do find it fascinating, and maybe at least until he learns the playbook, you can have him, just be in this Taysom Hill type role. So first, let's just talk about what I like and what I think Cam Newton brings to the table for Carolina. First, we'll start off with this one, and this is why I love having a quarterback who can run with the football. And I like this stuff where maybe you don't want Cam Newton to be your starter. I don't know. You make your decision. Is it Darnold? Is it PJ Walker? Is it Cam Newton? Obviously Darnold's hurt now. To me, maybe it should be Cam after this, and this is why he can be effective, even if he is just in this Taysom Hill type role where he's not the starter but comes in goal line situations. The key block on this one, it's going to end up being a designed run to the right, but Newton's going to hold on for a second just to make sure that his blockers can get over, specifically his left guard can get over to finish off this pull block. But what's fascinating is going to be the right guard. He's not going to block this very well. Should mention, one of the benefits of having a quarterback who can run with the football is that you get an extra blocker, right? The back on this play is he's a fullback, but he's just going to run out and block. You don't have to have a halfback and hand it off and have a quarterback do nothing. You get that extra player. Look how, Newton takes the snap, and that play does get blown up a little bit by, good defensive play by the interior Arizona defensive lineman. And at this point, fullback's not doing a great job at finishing off this block, doing his best. But, it's a somewhat of a difficult situation right here. There is a bit on the edge for 25, the Arizona player, to potentially make a tackle on Newton. But this is kind of what makes Newton such an effective runner, is you already get the extra blocker. And so typically what you say is, well, all it takes is one guy to win their one-on-one matchup on defense, and basically you're still fine. But the issue is that's not always the case with Newton. Watch him still get over and just shove him aside, and he's going to be able to get into the end zone for a touchdown. This is when he shouted, "I'm back," which very fun. I've always been a big fan of Cam Newton's, I don't know what you call them, antics, whatever. His passion, I think that's the way I would say it. Loves football, you can tell. And he's just an exciting player to watch. The league is better with Cam Newton in it. I say that as a Buccaneers fan who, definitely my life is better when the Panthers suck. They don't. And all right, now let's go over to this one. This one's another example of how Newton's running ability can be really effective even when he's throwing the football. And this is kind of something that Newton's whole career, it's been an aspect where he uses his legs to help set up his throwing ability. He's never been the best thrower of the football, although good. It's always been he can get the windows bigger with his legs, and this is a great example. This concept right here, if this was, Tom Brady making this throw, probably not going to be a wide open concept. Even with the one-on-one matchups, you don't know how well it's going to work, but watch what Newton does. Look, so Newton's going to take the snap, and right here, there's just a wide open player because everyone's expecting there to be a potential run. This is almost like a play action, even though he never had to actually run a play action. And you look, just look at all the Arizona players who are focusing on Newton. You have really 3 one-on-one matchups, and that's a great situation. It's almost like you force teams into cover zero when you do this stuff. It's a great way to put yourself in a favorable position. Newton is going to make this throw. Really good stuff. So good job there by Cam Newton to make that play then. Also, something like this, and this is the third aspect of the rushing quarterback thing, where yes, they can get yards themselves, yes, it can set up the passing game, but it can also just make it easier for your running back to get yards himself. This all works together. And with Christian McCaffrey back, he's not someone who exactly needs help, but if he can get it, he'll certainly take it. So the way this play works is essentially, all the defensive linemen are getting blocked right here, and there's an option. It could be Cam Newton keeping it himself, or he could give it to McCaffrey. And you see, I've circled an Arizona player in black right there. He's going to have a kind of a difficult job on this one. Watch. So Newton is going to, at a certain point, he's going to end up giving the ball to McCaffrey. But now, what do you do if you're that Arizona player? You can't really do much of anything. This is Hicks right there. And really, you kind of are caught in no man's land. Some people will say, hey, just guess. Just like guess it's going to be a handoff or guess it's going to be a quarterback play. And if you screw it up, well, then you're not going to get it anyways. So it is what it is. Because when you hesitate, there's not much you can do. Look, Hicks just kind of is flat-footed and McCaffrey runs right by him and picks up a good gain on that one. So it works in all facets. And again, that's another 3rd down and 2. They pick up a 1st down in part because of Cam, who literally all he did was hand the ball off. But, it helps more when Cam Newton's handing the ball off than when Peyton Manning is doing it, because there's that added threat. Now, there is something like this, because, I'm sure that there will be some should Cam be the starter type stuff, possibly, but here's the argument against it, right? Would be something like this, where it's man coverage. This is kind of, they tried to sprinkle in sort of him just being in an actual offense, so not just only putting him in for 3rd down and 2s, although that's where he can be most effective, I would say. But on this play, it's still a pretty good situation for Cam. You have a man coverage, one-on-one matchup. This is something that can work. However, as you see, Newton takes the snap, and there is an opening, but his throw is just a bit behind. Like I said earlier, he isn't the most accurate quarterback, but the argument for Newton is just simply that, yes, he has some inaccuracies, but he can get the gaps open up enough that he'll, even without being a perfectly accurate quarterback, he'll still be all right. That's kind of those are the pros and cons to Cam Newton, really. So yeah, like I said, I'm always a big fan of this stuff. I think that even if you don't have a rushing quarterback, you should go get one like a Cam Newton, who you can kind of get sort of as a B, guy who's not your everyday starter, but can come in and just on 3rd down and 2s help you set this stuff up. I think that logically makes sense. I also find just the situation very fascinating about Cam Newton, about all this stuff, where, Cam Newton, the Panthers gave up on Newton and decided to go with Teddy Bridgewater instead. That's a decision they made, and it's the same guys. Matt Rule is still the head coach. He was the one who chose. We don't know, who was actually the guy, but it's the same coaching staff. So usually when these reunions happen, it's like a different coaching staff, same coaching staff, but I guess they're letting bygones be bygones, and I'm a big fan of that. Don't let egos get in the way of things. Don't say, well, you gave up on me, or, I don't want to, admit I made a mistake or anything. They're just doing what's best for the football team, both the Panthers front office and Cam Newton itself, and it's a blast to watch. So, yeah, that's what I think about Cam Newton. Panthers are good. Panthers maybe aren't, or Panthers are probably good, right? I think the Panthers are at least solid at this point. They're 5-5 and only one win away from tying the Buccaneers, and they played the Bucs twice. So Panthers not dead, and this Cam Newton thing really gave them more life. That's what I think. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you, and of course, as always, thanks for watching.